Gentlemen, let's talk about three incredible positions that work for every man, no matter your size. And trust me, positions really do matter when it comes to her climax. You want to make sure that when you're with a woman intimately, you're not just using positions you think work. You know for sure these are your go-to positions that work incredibly well and give her an explosive, unforgettable experience every single time. I'm Dr. Lila Romano, a board-certified urologist, and I've been practicing for over a decade, helping men reclaim their confidence and vitality. Make sure you watch closely because position number 3 requires confidence to pull off. But when you do it right, it hits spots that most positions can't reach. If you want to become the kind of lover she brags about, hit that like button right now because what we're covering today is absolutely game-changing. Now, before we dive into these three positions, I need to address something that's been weighing on far too many of you. In my decade as a urologist, I've counseled hundreds of men who come into my office convinced that their size is the problem. They've spent years feeling inadequate, avoiding intimacy, or overcompensating in ways that actually make things worse. But here's what I need you to understand. The female body is designed in a way that makes size far less important than you've been led to believe. The vaginal canal, when a woman is not aroused, is only about 3 to 4 inches deep. Even when fully aroused, it extends to about 5 to 7 inches. But here's the key detail most men don't know. The vast majority of nerve endings in the vagina are concentrated in the first 2 to 3 inches, and the clitoris, which is the primary source of orgasm for most women, has over 8,000 nerve endings. That's double what you have in your entire penis. So when we talk about what creates pleasure for her, we're not talking about how deep you can go. We're talking about angle, pressure, rhythm, and most importantly, clitoral contact. If you've ever felt inadequate or worried that you weren't enough, I want you to know right now, you're not alone. And the truth is, it's not about your measurements. It's about understanding her anatomy and using the right techniques. These three positions maximize stimulation regardless of your size. And by the end of this video, you're going to have the knowledge and confidence to deliver exactly what she needs. All right, let's get into the first position. And this one is a favorite for women because we know, no matter what, we're going to finish. And that's when she's on top of you, in control. Now, I know some guys don't love this position because they feel less in charge. But here's the reality. When she's on top and in control, all you need to do is stay firm. That's it. If you can stay erect and let her ride, she's in control. She can grind, she can bounce, she can rotate her hips exactly how she needs to. When she's riding, this feels incredible for her. Why? Because she can slide her clitoris against you if she needs to. She can grind on you. She can control the angle, the pressure, the rhythm. She knows that in this position, it's going to feel incredibly good, and she knows no matter what, she's going to finish. Now, you may be with a woman who's not comfortable with her body. She may not know that this position is going to make her climax. But because you're watching this video right now, you're going to confidently tell her to get on top. And here's something incredibly attractive you can do. When she's riding you at first, let her have complete control. What's really frustrating for women is when we're on top and the guy immediately starts thrusting or grabbing our hips. No. Let us feel our bodies. Let us work up our own rhythm. Your job is simple. Lie flat on your back and stay firm. That's it. Don't thrust from below. Don't grab her hips right away. Let her find what feels good for her body. But here's when you can take action. When she gets to that point where she's breathing heavily, when she's moaning, when you can feel how wet she is, when her movements start to speed up, that's when you can take her by the hips and guide her even faster. But here's the thing, not all women are vocal. That's why it's really important that you don't take charge immediately. You don't start grabbing her hips right away. You want her to feel like she's in control. The more she feels in control, the more she's going to let go and communicate what she needs. When she's truly comfortable, she'll start moving faster, grinding harder, and that's your signal to place your hands on her hips and help her reach that peak. Here's why this position works for any size. When she's on top, she adjusts the depth to exactly what feels good. There's no uncomfortable pressure, no hitting her cervix in a way that hurts. She controls how deep you go. At the same time, her clitoris can make direct contact with your pubic bone. That grinding motion stimulates those 8,000 nerve endings while you're inside her. It's dual stimulation. That's why the vast majority of women who do orgasm during penetration do it in this exact position. And here's a pro tip that most men never learn. Place a pillow under your hips. This creates a slight tilt in your pelvis, and that small adjustment changes the angle just enough to create even better contact with her G-spot. It's a tiny modification that delivers massive results. Now let's move to position number 2, and this one is incredibly hot because it's at a different angle. It's when you're sitting on a chair and she's riding you with a leg straddled on each side. There's something about that angle when you're sitting on a chair and her legs are literally hanging over the sides. When you're on the bed, her legs are in a weird position. They're laid out on the bed, so she's got limited motion. But when her legs are hanging on the side of a chair and you're holding her from the back and she can grind on you because those legs are falling over, there's penetration happening at an angle that hits deeper than most positions. She can feel you in the depths of her body. Please, for the love of God, get a good chair. It doesn't have to be fancy, but when you have a chair that's comfortable enough for you to sit on, and her legs can fall off the sides, the gravity of her legs hanging down combined with that angle creates mind-blowing sensations and incredible finishes. Here's why this is so different from standard woman on top on the bed. When she's on the bed, her leg muscles are engaged, trying to stabilize herself on the mattress. She's working against the softness of the bed, but when her legs are hanging free from a chair, gravity does the work for her. She can use her core and hip flexors to create more dynamic movement, bouncing, grinding, rotating, without fighting against an unstable surface. And there's something else that makes this position special. You're face to face. You can kiss her. You can maintain eye contact. You can whisper to her. That emotional connection enhances arousal for most women. It's not just physical, it's psychological. When she feels that intimacy, that closeness, her body responds even more intensely. Here's exactly how to set this up. Choose a sturdy chair without arms. A simple dining chair works perfectly. Or if you prefer, sit at the edge of your bed, making sure it's the right height. About mid-thigh when you're standing is ideal. Sit with your feet flat on the floor in a stable position. She straddles you, wrapping her legs around the chair or letting them dangle on either side. Now here's critical. Start slow. Let her adjust to the depth because this position can go deeper than she expects. Your hands should be on her lower back or hips for support, not for control. Let her set the pace initially. She can grind forward for more clitoral stimulation, or she can bounce for deeper penetration. You can help by lifting her slightly to assist with rhythm, but always follow her lead. Don't force a pace that you want. Respond to what her body is telling you. And here's the beauty of this position for any size. Gravity compensates for length. The upright angle creates a different sensation that hits spots horizontal positions can't reach. She still has access to clitoral contact through grinding, and the face-to-face intimacy adds a psychological layer that amplifies everything. If you want to experiment with variations, she can lean back slightly while you support her. This changes the angle even more. Or she can lean forward for more grinding and kissing. Small adjustments create big differences. This is one of those positions where a tiny shift in her positioning can take her from "this feels good" to "oh my God, don't stop." Now, before I get to position number 3, let me talk about something that impacts all of this, your smooth muscle function. Because no matter what position you're in, if your smooth muscle isn't working properly, you're not going to maintain the firmness you need to make these positions work. So, what is your smooth muscle? It's a series of tiny muscular fibers on your pelvic floor that enable you to achieve erections by trapping blood inside the penis. Your smooth muscle is essential to perform in the bedroom because it traps healthy blood in your penis to ensure firm, durable erections. When the smooth muscle is optimized, blood flows rapidly into the erectile tissue and is firmly trapped there, producing a naturally hard and long-lasting erection. But here's the problem. Oxidative stress around the smooth muscle is now proven to be the root cause of many men's failure to perform in bed. As we age, especially after 50, several things happen. Nitric oxide production decreases. Nitric oxide is the molecule that signals your blood vessels to dilate and allow blood to rush into your penis. When production drops, those signals get weaker. Blood vessels also become stiffer and less flexible due to natural changes in arterial walls. This makes it harder for blood to flow in quickly and stay trapped. And the pelvic floor muscles themselves, which act like a clamp to keep blood locked inside your penis, start to weaken if they're not actively maintained. So how do you support your smooth muscle function naturally? Start with your diet. Foods rich in nitric oxide precursors make a real difference. Leafy greens like spinach and arugula contain nitrates that your body converts to nitric oxide. Beets are incredible for circulation. Dark chocolate, specifically 70% cacao or higher, contains flavonoids that protect nitric oxide from breaking down too quickly. And watermelon is loaded with citrulline, an amino acid that converts to arginine, which then converts to nitric oxide. Exercise matters too. Kegel exercises for men strengthen your pelvic floor muscles. Just 3 sets of 10 repetitions daily, holding each contraction for 5 seconds, can make a significant difference in your ability to maintain firmness. And cardiovascular exercise, walking, jogging, cycling, improves overall blood flow throughout your body, including to your pelvic region. Don't underestimate hydration either. Your blood is 90% water. When you're dehydrated, your blood thickens, and thicker blood moves more slowly through your arteries. That directly impacts erection quality, and if lifestyle changes aren't enough, don't suffer in silence. Talk to a urologist. Medications like Viagra and Cialis are safe for most men and highly effective. Erectile dysfunction is one of the most treatable conditions in all of medicine. There's no shame in getting help. With that foundation in place, let's get to position number 3. And this is the one that requires confidence because it's a bit unusual, but I promise you, no matter your size, it's going to make her feel incredible. She's laying on her back, and you pull her legs up like she's in a squat, so her knees are bent, and you hold her knees and push them forward. You're almost rocking her back, where her pelvis is lifted up just a little bit. You have to be confident because she's not going to feel comfortable in this position at first, and she's probably going to give you some pushback. This doesn't feel so comfortable, but let her know that you've got her, and you know she's going to feel good. Why am I so confident about this position? Because it targets something called the A spot. Most men have never even heard of it. The A spot, or anterior fornix erogenous zone, is located deeper than the G spot, about 4 to 5 inches inside on the front wall of the vaginal canal, near the cervix. It was discovered in the 1990s by Dr. Chua Chi An, a Malaysian physician who was treating women with vaginal dryness. He found that stimulating this area not only caused rapid lubrication, but also triggered powerful orgasms in women who had never experienced them before. The A-spot responds to deep, rhythmic pressure. While the G-spot likes firm rubbing, the A-spot wants consistent, deep contact. And that's exactly what this position delivers. Here's the biomechanics of what's happening. When you lift her legs into that squat position and push her knees gently toward her chest, her pelvis tilts upward. That tilt changes the angle of the vaginal canal dramatically. Instead of penetration going straight back, it angles upward and forward, creating direct, firm contact with the anterior wall where the A-spot is located. You're not just going deeper, you're hitting a completely different angle that most positions never reach. Here's exactly how to do this. Start with communication. Say something like, I want to try something that might feel unusual at first, but I promise it's going to feel incredible. Trust me. She lies on her back, legs flat. Position yourself between her legs, either kneeling or standing, depending on the height of your bed. Slowly lift her legs, bending her knees. Hold her firmly. Behind her knees, not on the knees themselves, because pressure there can hurt. Now, gently push her knees toward her chest. You're not trying to fold her in half. You're looking for the point where her pelvis naturally tilts upward. You'll feel it. Her lower back will lift slightly off the bed. That's the sweet spot. Enter slowly. This angle goes deeper than she's expecting, so give her time to adjust. Start with shallow movements. Check in with her. How does this feel? Is this too deep? Watch her face, her breathing, her body language. When you hit the right angle, you'll know immediately. Her entire body will respond. Her breathing will change. She might tense up in a good way, grabbing the sheets or reaching for you. That's when you gradually increase your depth and rhythm. Keep holding her legs securely. If she feels unstable or unsafe, she won't be able to relax into the sensation. Here's why this works for any size. The pelvic tilt actually shortens the effective depth of the vaginal canal slightly, while simultaneously angling it in a way that creates maximum contact with the anterior wall. You don't need length to reach the A spot in this position. You need the right angle. And that's what this gives you. There's also a powerful psychological element here. When you're holding her legs, guiding her into this position with confidence, she feels taken care of. There's a vulnerability in the position that, when met with your strength and reassurance, becomes incredibly arousing for many women. Now, let me tell you the common mistakes that ruin this position. First, pushing her knees too far back. If she's not flexible, forcing her knees to her chest will cause back or hip pain, and she'll tense up completely. Second, going too deep too fast. She needs time to adjust to the depth and angle. Third, not holding her legs securely. If she feels like she's going to slip or fall, she can't relax. And fourth, forgetting to communicate. This position requires check-ins. Is this okay? Does this feel good? Her verbal and nonverbal feedback is everything. Here's a pro tip. If she's flexible, you can push her knees closer to her chest for even more intense A-spot contact, but always ask first. Never assume her flexibility level. And if she's experiencing any back discomfort, place a pillow under her hips instead of lifting her legs as high. You'll achieve a similar angle with less strain on her body. Now that you know these 3 positions, let me tell you the mistakes that will ruin them, even if your technique is perfect. First, rushing. These positions work after she's aroused, not before. Spend 10 to 15 minutes on foreplay, kissing, oral stimulation, manual stimulation. Arousal means lubrication, engorgement, and heightened sensitivity. Without it, even the best position falls flat. Second, ignoring her feedback. You need to pay attention to both verbal and non-verbal cues. Ask her, does this feel good, faster, or slower? And watch her body. If she's tensing up, something's wrong. If she's melting into the bed, moaning, grabbing you, keep doing exactly what you're doing. Third, being silent. Talk to her during sex. Tell her she feels incredible. Ask her what she needs. Silence creates disconnection, and disconnection kills arousal. Fourth, staying in one position for too long. If she's not responding after 5 to 7 minutes, switch. Some women need variety. Don't stubbornly stick with a position that's not working just because you think it should. And fifth, finishing before she does. Her orgasm should be the priority. If you're getting close and she's not there yet, slow down. Switch to manual or oral stimulation. Let her finish first, then come back to intercourse. This single mindset shift will transform your intimate life. So what should you expect when you try these positions? The first time might feel awkward. She might not be comfortable immediately. It might not lead to an orgasm on the first attempt, and that's completely normal. The goal isn't perfection, it's exploration and connection. After 2 or 3 tries, you'll both understand the mechanics. She'll learn which angles work best for her body. Communication will become easier and more natural. Your confidence will grow, and so will hers. After consistent practice, these will become your go-to positions. You'll be able to read her body language without asking. She'll trust you to guide her into new positions because she knows you're paying attention to what she needs. And that confidence will transform not just your sex life, but your entire relationship. So there you have it, gentlemen. 3 positions that work no matter your size. Position 1, woman on top, gives her complete control over depth and angle while maximizing clitoral stimulation. Position 2, seated on a chair or bed edge, uses gravity and intimacy to create deeper penetration and face-to-face connection. And position 3, the elevated pelvic tilt, targets the A spot with an angle that most positions never reach. Now here's what I want you to do. Try one of these positions this week. If your partner isn't used to experimenting, start with the woman on top. It's familiar, but with the refinements I've given you, it'll feel completely different. Pay attention to which position she responds to most. And afterward, ask her, what felt best about that? Her answer will guide you. If this video helped you, share this with a friend and tell me which position you're most excited to try first in the comments below. I read every single one. This is Dr. Lila Romano, and I will see you in the next video.